So this next story here comes from Texas. Gainesville police officer has been arrested on heinous charges, man. Heinous charges. Gainesville police officer Dustin Keith Duncan was arrested following an indictment for alleged heinous crimes with someone who's under the age of 18. A second-degree felony. His bond was set at $40,000. Just $40,000 for that kind of offense. Do you think someone's bond should be set that low for this type of offense? Really? Really? Quote, upon hearing of the allegations, GPD took immediate action to remove Duncan from duty pending the outcome of the investigation. Due to the nature of the offense and the location where the alleged incident occurred, the Cook County Sheriff's Office has taken over the investigation. End quote. That's a quote from Gainesville Police Chief Kevin Phillips. Phillips stated that his department will be transparent and cooperate fully with Sheriff Ray Sappington's office. That is the Cook County Sheriff's Office. So basically, the long and the short of it is, you got a law enforcement officer here who is guilty of heinous crimes against people who are under the age of 18. Now, I'm going to tell you something now. It's a very, very common thing. I'm going to say it like I say it all the time, man. Don't trust pigs around your kids, man. Because the top 5 worst professions in terms of these types of crimes, you got clergy, preachers, Catholic priests usually. You got teachers. You got coaches, right? As you might expect. You got Boy Scout leaders or Scout leaders in general. And then you got school resource officers or just police officers in general. So it's a very, very common thing amongst U.S. law enforcement. I just want you to understand that these people, many people who are like this, who are predators, they will become law enforcement officers just so they have access to their potential victims. That's the point of him becoming a cop. I just want you to understand that if you become a law enforcement officer, right, you have not only access to a lot of victims, you know who the victims are, you know who to target. And if the victims were to ever come forward, well, back in the old days, you can just silence them. Threaten to arrest them, harass them, have your buddies harass them, put some fake charges on them. That was a very, very common thing. It still happens now. Except now you have social media where you can kind of expose those things. But even then, that doesn't really help you because cops can just ignore things, and so can prosecutors, so can judges, so can politicians. That's just the way it goes. So people like Dustin Keith Duncan here, popping up in your social media feeds and popping up in your news feeds, that is not unusual. I just want you to understand that. I just want you to understand that.